Hello friends, welcome to Little Village Homestead and the pizza oven starting. First we take out we'll call it the wood holder. And then I get my scraper. This is my fifth wheel pin puller, but it makes a good pizza oven rack puller. And we gather all these ashes up, save them for in the garden because they do good in there. When I clean the oven out, I like to get as much out of there as I can. Well, first off, I put two pieces in there. And then I twist up some paper. Set it back a little bit. And I get this in between the two logs. I don't know if you can see it. You should move it over here a little bit. See, I twist up the paper. It don't have to be where it stays or anything, just so I can clump it up in there. And then I sort of build layers. You never want to use an accelerant because this is for putting pizza on the floor. And it'll leave the flavor in there. And you don't want to eat no lighter fluid pizza. You want good natural flavors. I kind of go back and forth with the wood, and I'll show you before I start it, because I like the Leaning Tower of Pisa. See, friends, we got the wood stacked up in there, nice and high. And then I just take my little flamethrower and I get everything going as far as the paper goes. And then it catch all that on fire, and then we push it towards the back. And then we'll have to put the wood holder in there. And as soon as the smoke starts coming out of the chimney and the neighbors start smelling, they'll come over here. You're making pizza! We'll have to tell them, well, maybe. But my wife's going to show you today how we do pizza. It's going to probably take about an hour or two for this to really be warmed up in there. This is going to be the slow part of the process. And we'll see you when it gets going.
Okay, friends, now that we got the pizza oven going, that's going to take a good 2 hours before we can make any pizza in there. But in the meantime, we got a couple of things that we got to do before we get going on the pizza. So we got plenty of time. We got 2 hours. I got I got two of them. These 3-pound 80-20, is it? 80-20, I believe. Yep, 80-20. I love 80-20. It's not too greasy. I got two of these 3-pound packages. Gosh, was it a family fair? I got it with my Yes card for $2 a pound. So, and it wasn't even quite $2 a pound. It was $5.97 a piece. Can't believe it. So we're going to make these into patties. And the reason why I'm just going to, so that we can just put it right on the grill if we want, or even, on the stovetop. But we grill out a lot during the summer, and I like to have everything ready because we're always so busy, and we can just pull it out of the oven or pull it out of the freezer already seasoned and ready to go. So that's what we're going to do. And we're going to use this. So we're going to open this up, dump this in this bowl. We'll get our fingers dirty, and that's all right. But I like burger patties all ready to go in the freezer. It's nice to have. Okay, there we go. Let me toss this out. Okay, so with that, I got a little bit of schmutz on my hands. I got a little bit of onion here that I'm going to throw in here. I'm not going to make these like meatloaf burgers. John just wants plain seasoned burgers. And I need to wash my hands. Okay. So what we're going to do is we're going to do pepper. We're also going to do, we love this steak seasoning. And this is burger seasoning. We like that on steaks too. But we're going to put a whole bunch of that in here because we got 3 pounds to season up. It's going to be wonderful. We got a busy day. We got to do the burger patties. We got to do coconut cream pies. I got to order for coconut cream pies. So we got to do those. And pizza. And I'm going to show you how easy it is to do pizza, but we're doing ours in the pizza oven. Regular pepper. Got to have pepper. Beautiful. And then we're going to do a little bit of salt because I don't believe this burger seasoning has salt in it. And it doesn't list the ingredients. Huh. Okay. That's all right. I don't think it has salt in it, so. There we go. All right, so now we got our tray ready for our burgers. I'm going to bring you in a little closer so you can see what I'm doing. Okay, so here we go. We're just going to mix this real good. Break it up. It's all thawed out. Just needs to be mixed up. You can put barbecue sauce in here. You can do a lot. Me, I'm not going to put anything in here. Just the onions and the seasoning. But I've done them with barbecue sauce. I've done meatloaf style burgers. I've done it all. But this time, Mr. Wayna just requested plain. So that's what we're doing. Just plain seasoned. All right, now, I don't know how many we're going to get out of here, but we're going to make nice size burgers. We're just going to patty them around. Just perfect size. We're going to put them on our tray. Okay. Make it into a nice little ball so it's nice, packed tightly. Perfect. I like doing this with chicken breast too. Season it up and package it up so you can just take it out and put it right on the grill. I don't want these touching, but they can be fairly close together because I don't know how many we're going to get out of here. Perfect. I squeeze it and pack them nice and tight. These are big burgers, but you're only going to need one. And a lot of times, I've even made these, and I should do it. I should do it in one of my next videos. I'll take burger like this, patty it up, but I'll put a little pat of herbed and seasoned butter in the middle of it and then wrap it around there. And man, does that ever make a nice burger too. All right. So we've got 2, 4, 6, 8 burgers. 8 nice sized big burgers. Let me get this cleaned up. Okay, friends, let me wash this off. You know I didn't get anything on it. We're going to wash that off anyway. Beautiful burgers. Let's package these up. You know what? I can put another one on top just so that it's protected. And then once these are froze really good, then I can take them out and just package them separately. And it's wonderful. You can use as many or as little as you want. You don't have to worry about them all sticking together. You don't have to worry about putting it together. It's all done for you. And we'll have Mr. Wayne to stick these in the freezer for us. And tomorrow I'll be able to package them separately. Perfect. We'll put one right down the middle. It won't fit all the way, but it'll be good enough. Just for some added protection. Beautiful. That's it. Those are going in the freezer. Okay, friends. Now we're going to work on our coconut cream pie. This stuff is amazing. You can freeze it, but I don't like to because... How many cups are in here? I don't like to because it just changes the texture of it. We're going to put it all on there. And we're going to toast this. So I want to spread it out really nice. All right, our oven is at 350 degrees. We're going to toast that for about 5 minutes. Okay, friends, we've got our coconut toasting in the oven for about 5 minutes. And when that's done, we're going to take it out and then we'll start our pie, because once you start making your custard for this pie, you need to stir it continuously. Otherwise, it stands a chance to burn. So I'll be back as soon as that's done in 5 minutes. Okay, friends, look at our coconut is all toasted up beautifully. Okay, so now we're going to put our pie together. So we're going to use 1 cup of flour. I've got and I'll put the recipe for this in the description box too. So I've got a cup of flour. We're going to use, let's see here, we're going to use a cup and a half of sugar. Okay. My big tubs. People ask me where I get my big tubs. I got them from, it's called Town Line Unlimited Bargain Barn, and it's in Manistee. I don't know where else you get them. I don't know if you can get them on Amazon, but I saw those and I had to have a couple of them, and I do plan on getting a couple more because they're really nice. All right, we're going to do 4 eggs in here too. Okay. Well, we don't want the shell in there. Okay, we got our 4 eggs, we got our flour, we got our sugar, half a teaspoon of salt. And now we're gonna do, I can open this okay. We're gonna do 6 cups of half and half. You can use milk in here. And you can also use, if I can get this open, you can use milk, and you can use like the evaporated milk. Just, you know, when I use evaporated milk, I mix equal parts of evaporated milk and water. So we need 6 cups. This is 4 cups. Okay, there's 4. We'll get this opened. And then we're gonna do 2 more cups. Total is 6. There we go. All right. Let me put this in my fridge. Okay, so we're going to put this aside right over here. You can use regular pie crust, but I'm making this for a friend and they like the graham cracker crust, so that's what we're using. And it's just the store-bought, okay? We got our salt in there. We got everything ready to go. Okay, we're gonna turn this burner on, about medium, and we're gonna get mixing all this. And because I use my farm fresh eggs, mine's gonna be a little orangey, and that's okay. Now you wanna stir this continuously because you don't want this to burn, and it will get thick. Okay, so I'm just gonna turn the camera off and I'm gonna mix this until this is good and thick. This is gonna take you about 15 minutes. Okay, and then when this is done, we'll move on to our next step. Okay, friends, so this is how you want this. Nice and thick, see that? Gorgeous. Okay, so we're gonna get that out of there. And we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna put all but a little bit for garnish we're gonna save. So we're gonna put all this right in our mix, right into our custard. And then the rest, that little bit that's left, we're gonna save for garnish, okay? We're also gonna put 2 tablespoons of vanilla, or 2 teaspoons, excuse me, of vanilla in here. All right, good deal. Now we're just gonna mix this up beautifully. This stuff is wonderful. See how beautiful that is? Okay, so now what we're gonna do is we're gonna start filling our pies. And there's enough here. It's enough. This recipe is enough for 2 pies, excuse me. Get it all out of there. Now this is going to have to cool before we finish it up because we'll top it off with, I need a little bit of this. We'll top it off with Cool Whip. And then we'll use the last of the toasted coconut for our garnish. So that's it for these pies. These are going to go over on the edge of my kitchen counter and they're going to cool off. Okay, friends, we have about an hour before our pizza oven is ready to use. There's a beautiful breeze in here. All my windows are open. So we're going to put together our pizza dough because this is going to take about an hour to rise, and then we'll be able to roll it out and use it. So anyway, with that, I will list this recipe as I always do. This is the pizza. I know I use my Amish white bread a lot, but this is a different pizza recipe that I have come up with that works wonderful. We're going to do 2 tablespoons of yeast. Okay. I can't tell you how many times I've made different pizza dough, and this one is like almost perfected. So we're going to put our water in there. Warm water, not hot, obviously. We're going to do 2 tablespoons of sugar in here as well. because that's what's going to feed our yeast. Okay, let me give this a mix. And then we're just going to give this a second, probably about 5 minutes to bloom to make sure, you know, your yeast and everything is good. Okay, friends, this is lively. You can probably barely see it in there. To that, we're going to do a 1/2 cup of oil. And I'm using olive oil. Okay. Now, the secret to this dough, what I have found that makes it beautiful, stretchy, and you can work with it so well, it stretches easy, is I add 1 tablespoon of milk powder for every cup of flour. So there goes my milk powder, because we're going to add 10 cups of flour. We're just going to give this a little bit of a mix. Okay. And now we're going to add 10 cups of flour to this. This will make like 8 pizzas, or you can do mini pizzas, but this will make like 8 12-inch pizzas. Okay. We're also going to do 1 tablespoon of salt. Don't forget your salt. Your dough will be tasteless. Okay. And that's it. That's all you put that goes into this. Now, what I'm going to do with this is I'm going to take this into my pantry. I'm going to mix it in there. I don't want to mix this by hand. Anyway, once this is incorporated, then you're going to time it, and you're going to want to need this between 10 and 15 minutes. No less than 10 minutes, but no more than 15. You don't want to underknead it, and you don't want to overknead it. So I do right around 14 minutes. So when this is all mixed up and we can put it together, I'll be back. Okay, friends, here is our gorgeous dough. And of course, I let it knead for 14 minutes. And it's beautiful. Look how clean my bowl is. Perfect. All right, now another tip with this, and my board's moving. Okay, and it's a heavy marble board too. Is when I do pizzas, I don't just let this rise and then work with it. I divide it into 8 balls now, and then I let it rise, you know, rest or rise, whatever you want to call it, for about an hour, and then I'll roll it out. So we're going to divide this. That way it gives the gluten a chance to form to the round shape, so that when it does, when you do go to roll it out, it'll roll out to a beautiful circle for you. All right, there we go. Now, what we're going to do with this is get it out of my way. Okay, we're just going to roll this into a nice ball right now. And I just roll it on my board. That's how I do it, and it's so easy to do. Beautiful. That's going on the board. I'll get it into somewhat of a circle, and then I like to stretch it a little this way. Okay, beautiful. Makes a nice ball. See that? Makes a beautiful dough ball. These freeze beautifully too. You can make these dough balls. You don't have to let them rise at all. You can make these dough balls, wrap them up, and put them in the freezer. I'll show you. I've got frozen dough balls already. Beautiful. And they freeze beautifully, and then you can just take it out, set it on your counter on a little piece of parchment paper. It'll thaw out and it'll rise and it'll be beautiful. So now you can freeze them too. And my pizzas, they're all different sizes. And not always are they circle, but they're wood-fired pizza. It's a beautiful. So we're going to finish these, rolling these up. And then we're just going to let them rest for about an hour, because then our pizza oven will be done heating up, because we want it about 700 degrees in there to make good pizza. And then we're going to, I'll show you how we're going to do this. We're going to bake these off in the outdoor oven, and then you can even freeze them. You could do this in your regular oven too, and I'll give you instructions for that when we get to them. But we're going to bake these, and then we're going to top them, and then they're going in the freezer. So that way, if we want pizza, we can just take it right out of the freezer, put it in the oven, finish it off in your indoor oven, and you'll still have that wonderful wood-fired flavor in it that everybody's after. I know when we fire that up, there's already been people, you making pizza? My grandbabies want a pizza. So we'll probably have to make them one, and that's all right. We'll make that and some of our crazy cheesy bread. Okay, that's how easy this is to work with. No flour, we didn't need anything. It rolled out beautifully. All right, I'm just gonna put some plastic over this. And we're gonna let it set for about an hour. I don't know what I was thinking when I bought this. I need the big 18-inch one. This 12 inches for little stuff. Okay, we're gonna leave that set right up here on our stove just to rise, and I'll be back in an hour. Okay, friends, our pies are all set up. So we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna put our Cool Whip on them. These are gonna turn out lovely. All right. And I just go like so, lift up on my little paddle and make little peaks on it. Okay? We'll get this one going. And then we'll go ahead and put our garnish on them, our coconut. I had a leaf on there. They don't want a leaf in it. Beautiful. That looks great. All right. Now, we're just going to sprinkle Yeah, I'm just going to sprinkle this on here. If I get it on my counter, I'll wipe it off. I like to put extra on top too. It's just pretty, and it gives it that little bit of crunch. Okay, so those look good. All right, that's how nice they turn out. Take a look at that. Beautiful. Those are done. Okay, friends. We're going to start rolling out this dough. I always I roll out my dough, and I always put my pizzas together on this. It's perfect for it. I got semolina flour on here. Okay, this is semolina flour. This is the best thing you can use to roll out your pizza dough. And you can get it online. There's our dough. Beautiful, soft dough. Now it's just gonna start forming it into a nice circle. Okay, you can use a big rolling pin. You can fling this around in the air if you want. I just use my little wooden rolling pin. It works just fine for me. See how nice that's doing? Beautiful. And it's stretchable. It's not fighting me. It's wonderful. Okay? I'm going to show you too. I'll stretch my dough even further, and I just stretch it this way. A lot of people do it different. Some people fling them in the air. I don't. I just stretch it out. This makes a nice 12 to 14 inch pizza. See how nice that is? When I make my pizzas, look how beautiful and round it is. When I make my pizzas, you want to make sure this pizza dough rolls around on here because you don't want it sticking to it. We don't want that either. For any reason, you don't want it sticking because it'll make a mess out of your pizza. Okay? So I just slide it on here, and we're going to go bake this. Okay. We're going to go and bake this. Now, if you look in here, all the wood is back there in the corner. All the ashes are back there, so it's not going to get on your pizza, anybody that wonders. And if it does, it's wood-fired. John has mopped the floor in there, and that floor is, I'll tell you, 615 degrees on that floor, which is perfect for just baking this pizza dough. Now, see, we're just going to slide it in there just like so. And it's only going to take a couple minutes in here because it's screaming hot. If you do this at home, it will take you probably 5 to 7 minutes with your oven at 400 degrees, and then you can put this together. So we'll get that baked up. We just want it to sit in there for about a minute and a half and turn it, and then it'll be done. And you might wind up with that little bit of char on the outside edges, but people love that. See how it's doing in there? When you do this at home in your oven, see how it's starting to bubble up in there? That's what wood-fired pizza does. It's beautiful. But if you don't want that, just poke some holes with the fork in your dough before you put it in your oven. See how it is? Then we're going to turn it around. See the browning on there? Beautiful. That's all right. I just poke it. It'll flatten back down. Beautiful. Okay, and then this table is clean, so there's a leaf on there. We just let it down there and let it cool off, and you'll be able to pick it up. It'll be gorgeous. Okay, friends, so you've seen how that was done. We're going to do another one for you. So So we're going to grab our dough ball right here. And we're going to start flattening this out. And then I'll show you with poking a hole in it. With a fork, poke holes in it and it won't bubble up on you. But you always want to make sure that your pizza is loose on your board. You don't want it sticking. You'll rip your pizza all to pieces. Does he want a pizza?
No.
Oh.
He's giving us this.
Okay. See how beautiful that is? But we want that. We want that a little rounder. Perfect. See, it's where it sticks. We're going to fix that. See, that's what we want. All right, now we're just going to roll it a little more. And that's perfect. Slide it up on our board and we're ready to go. All right, we're going to throw that one right in there. I can get about 2 to 3 pizzas in here at one time. And see now this, see the bottom from the wood-fired oven? But this is good because then you can, it can go in your oven, on your tray, and it's perfect. And if you even set it in your oven without anything under it or on a tray, it won't, you know, drip through the grates of your oven. Oh, I got to get a fork. I forgot to poke that one. Okay. I'm going to set this one right out here. And if you just poke it, it won't bubble up on you. That's simple. It only takes a few minutes. And when you're cooking pizza in here, I bet that pizza takes about, what, 4 minutes? And that entire pizza's done. And I just turn it. I slide it under there. And then I just turn around. See the brown on the edge there? You'll have a little wood fired on your pizza, even out of your oven, and you'll still have that beautiful flavor from the wood. All right, see how gorgeous that is? See the bottom? Beautiful. All right, friends. I'm going to get the rest of these all baked off, par-baked, and then I'll meet you back in the kitchen and we'll put together some pizzas for the freezer. Okay, friends, take a look. I've got all the pizza baked off, par-baked. So what we're going to do is I use these nice little cake rounds, and I get these from Amazon. They're just cake rounds. You don't have to get the special pizza rounds for this at all. And they fit on there pretty good. There might be a little over, but they do fit on it pretty good. I can do 4 at a time. So we'll do 4 pizzas. I'm doing these for my grandchildren and one for my friend and one for my daughter. So we're going to start with this. The first thing we're going to do is we're going to do a couple of garlic cheesy breads. Okay, and I'm just going to paint this right on here. This is the garlic sauce, and it's not completely melted because this is going in the freezer. So all it's in here is minced garlic, real butter, and parsley, and that's it. Okay, we're going to do 2 of them like that because they'll love that. They love the cheesy garlic bread. So you could just melt some butter, soften butter anyway, and mix some minced garlic. You can use fresh garlic too. Just mince it up real small and put some parsley in it, or even Italian seasoning, and there it is. And you'll have some really nice garlic sauce for your pizzas. I usually put it right on the edges as it comes out of the oven too. I just put a little, I don't overload it with cheese because it's just a cheesy bread. Okay, but we need a little bit up here on this mound. All right, now we'll trade places. That one's done. Actually, we're gonna trade right here. Perfect. And this is a perfect idea for freezer meals. Okay, those two are set. We'll set those aside, and then once we're done, we'll get them wrapped up. All right, these two are going to be sausage and cheese for the grandkids. So I'm just going to slather on a little sauce. And I put it almost to the edges. This pizza crust isn't going to rise anymore. So you can put it as close to the edge as you want. Perfect. Okay, we'll get this one. I just spread it all around. Now I can take this and finish it off in the wood-fired oven too, right from the freezer. Just let it thaw out. Otherwise, it's going to stick to your oven. And you don't want that. Even if you have not a wood-fired oven, even a pizza oven. I know a lot of people have pizza ovens. You can do the same thing with that. Okay, so now we're going to just do sausage on this. They don't want anything else but some sausage on it. So we're doing sausage pizza. They're like meat lovers. And this other one, I'm going to stick a couple of pepperoni on it. And the sausage. Okay, there we go. And we can put some sausage all around here. And we'll make this so that it is fairly even. There. Beautiful. You can make your pizza any way you want, friends. Okay, there's those. Let me put this in my sink. Okay, so we got these done. I'm going to go ahead and wrap these up. And then I can put the other ones together because I don't have a whole lot of room right here to store all these. So we're going to wrap this up. And we are going to put, let me show you, just a little smidgen of pizza or of cheese on the top. And that's it. That's all it needs. Okay. So just take your plastic wrap. I do half of it at a time. And you could make bunches of pizza. See it? Perfect. On the little cake round, those are perfect. You could make bunches of pizza in an afternoon. Excuse me, I'm coughing. Okay. Okay, so you see how I put them together, and you seen how I wrap them. And you can just put a little sticky label right on top. Perfect. We'll wrap these up, and then I'll finish the other ones. There we go. See how nice it is? And friends, you can even make these pizzas for like one. You can make them small for individual pizzas. You can make them bigger. You can make them any size you want. These are wonderful. Okay, let me move this. Okay, so we'll get this all slathered on here real good. Somebody on their Harley zipping through town. We need a little bit more on that side. There we go. These are so easy to make. And it's nice when you have a bunch of them made up and you got room in your freezer to put them in there. Your kids will love it. You'll love it on a busy night. It's just divine. And you can put anything you want on them. I'm going to tell you, this pizza dough is so good. You could just slather it with a little bit of garlic butter after you get it out of the oven, and it's wonderful. Okay, so we're going to get our cheese put on these. I'm going to have just enough cheese to finish these up, and then put a little bit on the tops. So that's perfect. Okay, now this one is for my daughter, and she just wants the yellow banana peppers, which she loves. They're beautiful. And the sun-dried tomatoes. And personally, I don't keep these in the freezer because if we want pizza, we just fire up the pizza oven. But in the wintertime, I make pizzas for the freezer. All right, there we go. There's one down. Now we're going to do some hard salami. And that's all they want. There we go. And then another one with just sausage. You can put all kinds of toppings on, like I said before. Now this one is going to be just a cheese pizza. So we're just going to put a little more cheese on this one. And that's for the little kids. All right, so we got just enough to top it with a little bit of cheese. And this way, if she wants anything more on it, she can add to it. Same with you. If you want any more on it, you can add to it. We'll put the rest of that on there, and we are done. I'm going to get these wrapped up, get my stuff put away, and we'll come back. I'm going to get this cheese off my counter because this counter is all clean and sanitized, so I can use that. And when I'm all done wrapping these up, I'll come back and we'll go over everything we've done. Okay, friends, look at these beautiful pizzas. And your burgers are in the freezer. I'll be able to singly or individually wrap them tomorrow. And take a look at this beautiful coconut cream pie. The other one's gone. And we went through and we did garlic cheesy bread. See the sides, the edges of that? Isn't that beautiful? We're going to give that a try because that's Mr's favorite. So we're just going to go like so. And we cut it just like strips. Okay? And just in half. See how we cut it? Nice. All right. We'll take a piece. Cuts beautifully. Oh, this is cheese and that beautiful garlic sauce that I always make. That's good. Very good. You like it? Listen to, she's growling at the cat. Huh! She wants to chase the cat. Anyway, this is so easy to put together. And you can, instead of if you don't have a wood oven, you can do this, bake your pizza dough in your regular oven. Top it with any toppings you want. You can make the garlic cheesy bread, put it in the freezer, and then when you go to bake it, you can bake it from frozen too, friends. And you would bake it at like 450 degrees for about another 5 to 7 minutes. And you'll have a beautiful pizza. So there you have it, friends. That's how easy it is to put together a few freezer meals in an afternoon on a beautiful day. You all have a wonderful day. I will put all this recipes for everything we did in a description box. I'll see you in the next video, friends. And as always,
Thanks for watching.